I feel like a guinea pig.
A guinea pig. Are we rolling?
We are rolling.
Dad, why do you feel like a guinea pig?
I don't really feel like a guinea pig. I'm happy to be here and happy to be part of your success. And I don't know.
Whoa. I have to say I'm shocked you agreed to do my podcast.
Reluctantly, of course.
But why'd you say yes?
Well, I'm not used to being filmed or asked or interviewed, so.
But you're not going to sue me though, right?
No, you don't have to worry about that.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good.
So, you gonna ask me questions?
Well, I like to do on my podcast. Do you ever listen to podcasts?
No.
Have you ever?
No.
Okay. I think you listened to one, there was like a Bob Dylan one that you listened to years ago.
Could be.
But you were like, meh, I'm not into it. I'd rather listen to his music, not necessarily listen to him talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said to me, at least.
That very well could be then.
Yeah. But so I like to think of it more like a conversation than an interview.
Mm-hmm.
It's just us having a conversation. And that's all it is.
Okay.
Is that weird?
No.
Do you think what I do is weird?
No.
Really?
No.
You don't?
Maybe I don't. Maybe there's a lot I don't know, but I think you're out there and you're making things happen and you're mixing it up, and that's what you do.
Yeah. And you always were, I would say, overall, you and Mom were really supportive of
Right.
me coming out to LA young. You never said that I couldn't do it. Though you did try to get me to do drama. You remember?
Not really.
Yeah, because I wanted to do comedy and you were like, yeah, you should do drama.
It could be. It might have been my opinion at that time.
Yes.
What's important is that you do what you feel and what you want to do, and that we've always tried to support you using your own mind and your own ideas.
Yeah.
If I came along and tried to structure something, it would completely throw you into a different arena. So we just let you do your thing.
Whoa.
I mean, it's your life, your business.
Yeah. Yeah, you've always been that way, but not all parents are like that. A lot of them try and get their kids to do what they want them to do. I see it all the time.
Well, that's somewhat typical, and I think your mother and I were more interested in you exercising your freedoms and your ideas, which I think you have done well. So that's good.
Yeah. How do you like being out here with everyone?
It's very pleasant, very nice and peaceful.
And it's the first time we've all been together. You, me, Mom, Tracy and Colleen. That's our entire immediate family.
Yep.
The first time we've been together in 4.5 years. Can you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. But you've been busy, right? You've been doing things.
I've been busy.
And you've been growing, and you've been, experimenting and succeeding.
Yes.
So that's all good. I don't have any, I don't believe in criticizing what other people do, and we need to give you the latitude and room to do what you want to do, and that's good. I think Mom's been equally supportive.
What if I told you guys I wanted to do porn?
I probably wouldn't be real happy about that. I'd probably try to influence you against that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Though you could make a lot of money, but I wouldn't do that because I don't need to do that.
Right.
Because I could be funny.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Funny is money, baby. Funny is money. Have you ever heard that?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about your childhood.
Hmm.
Were you a happy kid overall?
Yeah.
What would you say you were like as a boy?
In what respect?
Your personality and what you like to do.
Well, I don't know. As a boy, I was going to school. I had some good friends. We were mostly involved in, scientific type stuff. What we could use to, like make rockets or bombs and things like that. So I was always interested in that type of stuff. And I became a chemistry major, and of course, there were a lot of chemicals involved and a couple explosions.
So you, from a young boy to high school, you were always into science, right?
Always into
Science,
right
chemistry,
math and chemistry.
math and chemistry.
Right.
And then you would blow things up. Didn't you blow your basement up once?
When we were kids in 6th grade, Rich McKay and I would go around, and his dad worked for a company where he would bring him potassium metal and sodium metal and things like that. And those metals, you could cut them with a butter knife. And if you throw them into the water, they start to sizzle, and then they catch on fire and they explode. And these are your basic elements: sodium, potassium. They're all part of the periodic table. And it was that kind of stuff that led me to be more and more curious about chemistry. And I was drawn to math. So once you're doing well in math, chemistry becomes easy and fun.
Whoa.
So, and I was a chemistry major all the way through college, 5 years of college.
Okay, so chemistry major through college. So, but why chemistry major? Because you enjoyed it, but what do you do with that degree typically?
I didn't get a degree. I just took what I liked, and that was fine.
But with the intention of doing what with it?
Nothing necessarily.
Did you always know that you were going to work with your dad at the food packaging company?
I knew it was an opportunity there, and it was a likely one that I should take advantage of.
Yeah.
So I was well versed in the company, and when I joined the company officially after college, I made sales calls, and one of the first calls I made was to Nestle. I went for the big guys, and the guy said, "You must be a mind reader. I need, 15 million pouches."
Whoa.
And and I said, "Well, I've got the machinery." So within a very short time, they sent some people out, flew out and inspected the plant, and they approved us, and that was my first job.
Whoa.
And it was kind of a lucky thing, but we were comfortable and confident that we were excellent at what we did, and as long as you're doing excellent work, companies like Nestle will work with you.
Whoa.
And
So,
they're one of the biggest.
yeah, Nestle. So my grandfather, who, not from France or his parents were from France.
Yeah, his parents were from France.
Yes. Cléry. Okay. So it was your great grandfather that started the food packaging company?
It was my father, my aunt, and my uncle all decided that they would get into, basically, they were promoting their own hot chocolate.
Oh.
And so they were selling it to stores and this and that and the other thing, like during World War II.
Whoa.
And then after World War II, the market kind of changed, and the big companies were taking over more things. And so they said, "You know what, we're going to have to do something about this. So let's start calling around and see what we can do." And they called around, and they found General Mills, which is a big, big company, and they kept my father's company. It was my father, my aunt, and my uncle. And they kept the business moving, And then when I finished up at school, I came over and started to work in the company, and I'd make a sales call or two, and I was lucky and found some pretty decent work right off the bat.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. And then I spend most of my time working out the kinks and everything for the products and what we needed to do to make it successful. And that's about it. You know, it's not rocket science. It's just basically, you know, making pouches, blending the cocos first with the sugar, and then, you know.
It literally smelled like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory there.
There you go.
Like when you walked in to this massive factory, because we used to go when we were kids, and it would just smell like so much chocolate. It was amazing.
So we'd do any kind of packaging as long as it was food. You know, dry. You know, we didn't do liquid or anything. So.
But if you didn't do that, because you basically did that for most of your adult life, right? If you didn't do that, what would you have done, do you think?
Well, I was interested in chemistry,
Right.
but I don't know that there was anything there for me in chemistry. You know, it wasn't like people were hiring chemists a lot.
Right. But that would have been what you would have done.
Or that was my first passion, was math and chemistry.
Yeah.
You know.
And then when you were in high school, you were like kind of a bad kid, right? In a sense. Or you would get into trouble. Like you were a good student, but you were also like rebellious.
I was studying what I like to study,
Yes.
math and chemistry, and I didn't make too much trouble, you know. I mean,
Weren't you in a gang?
well, you know, it was a group of boys, and some of them were gymnasts, and they were pretty strong guys. I wasn't, you know, but they'd get in a little trouble once in a while, but for the most part, they were pretty decent kids. They grew up in Oak Park.
What'd they call you again? The professor?
That's one, yeah.
And is that when you made MDA?
Pardon me?
When you made MDMA?
Well, that was much later on in college when I was synthesizing in the lab, and then they approved my project, and I made it,
Yeah.
and then that was great. And then when it was all done, I took it and threw it in the garbage because you wouldn't want to use it because it wasn't pure.
You'd rather get it on the street?
Pardon me?
You'd rather get it on the street?
Do what on the street?
You'd rather get MDMA on the street?
We didn't really use MDA very often. I mean, it wasn't something that we would go out and buy a lot of, you know.
It's a once in a while drug.
Very once in a while.
Very.
Yeah.
Couple times a year,
Yeah.
if that.
And right, we weren't real big into that. Mostly marijuana.
Mostly marijuana. But then like in the 60s, wasn't it a lot about psychedelics and stuff like that?
Right, but they wear you pretty thin pretty quick, you know. So it's not something that you're taking a lot of. It's something that's rather scarce, you know.
Did you like it when you did it though?
It was interesting, and it was something that we all kind of did, but you don't do very much of it.
Yeah.
Because your body won't allow it.
Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by AG1, y'all. AG1 is an amazing green supplement. I take it every single morning. It's packed with 75 different vitamins, minerals, whole source food ingredients. Y'all, it's completely vegan. It helps with gut health, energy, hair, nails, strengthens your immune system. It's all your vitamins and minerals all in one drink. You just take a scoop, put it in the cup, mix it around, squeeze a little lemon in there. I like to, and it tastes so good. If you order it through me, just go to drinkag1.com/idiot. Again, that's drinkag1.com/idiot, and you can get a year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Y'all, it's your nutritional insurance. I love it, and I know that you will too. So then, how did you meet Mom?
Met Mom in high school, and I went to a party, and
Whose party was it?
I don't remember exactly, but it was local kids. It wasn't a big party, you know. There was half a dozen, maybe a dozen kids tops in there, and so I asked her if she wanted a ride home, and so I gave her a ride home, and we talked a lot, and she gave me her phone number, and about 2 weeks later, we had our first date. So it was all very proper and respectful.
But why did you ask her if she wanted a ride home?
Why wouldn't I? I was interested in her. And
Why
so
were you interested in her?
just you get the feeling that, you know, here's somebody that you want to know.
What do you think that's about?
Chemistry.
Just chemistry?
Right. You feel that it's somebody that you want to know.
Whoa. And then so you picked her up in 2 weeks from the party. You went to her house. And where did you go?
Well, at the party, I gave her a ride home.
Yes.
And then we talked a lot, and she gave me her number
Yeah.
so that I could call her. And it was a real slow and nice way to get to know somebody, and we, you know, progressed from there.
But then 2 weeks went by and you picked her up for the date. Where did you go?
Oh, I don't recall. I think we were just driving around.
Because you were 15 and 16 years old, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Wow. That's crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy.
Well, nowadays, like now, I feel like it's rare for people in high school to get married to their high school girlfriend or boyfriend and still be together at 70 and 72. Like that just doesn't happen anymore. With dating apps, have you heard of dating apps?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah.
A dating app?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
crazy. I've never been on one.
No, I wouldn't go on one either.
No, but basically they design it like a slot machine. And so you see all these pictures of all these single people and you swipe right if you're attracted to them and swipe left if you're not. And you just keep swiping. And that's like the options are endless. And then if you swipe right and someone else swipes right, then you're a match. And then from then you start talking to the person. And this
Yeah.
is all like, I've not been on one, but this is what the culture is now of dating. So you can imagine how difficult it would be to like commit to one person. Because wait, there's all these other people. What if, and they design it, these apps are designed to make you sort of get addicted to the like dopamine hit of getting a match with someone. And then so what happens is you get a match, people go on a couple dates, but then in the back of their mind they're like, but what if there's someone better? And so you have this like epidemic of what they call situationships now, which is like people dating but not committing to one person. And then after 2-3 months, when the high of like the new person wears off, they're just on to the next.
Unfortunately, we weren't involved in anything like that whatsoever. It was more about people meeting people, being interested, getting a phone number, talking on the phone constantly, and then going out on a date. And, you know, might go watch a movie or something. It was all very innocent and very wholesome.
Wow.
And very nice.
Wow.
You know? And we just kind of clicked and stayed together for many, many years before we eventually got married.
So when do you think you knew that she was the one you wanted to spend the rest of your life
First
with?
time I met her. First time we met, I knew.
Stop! But that's crazy.
No, that's chemistry. That's your chemistry telling you you're interested, but you got to be careful not to overplay it or to be too aggressive because you scare people away. So you have to let it happen slowly.
Whoa.
And it worked. You're proof.
And I'm proof. I'm proof that it worked.
That's right.
Whoa. Wow.
Pretty deep.
It is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy to think like if you didn't go to that one party that one night, well, I would not
Yes.
exist.
Right. And as I was at the party, I think she was getting ready to leave and to go, and I was able to introduce myself and then offer to give her a ride home. And one of the guys who was throwing the party wanted to go along as a chaperone. And I said, sure, no problem, come on, See, you minimize. So there was no issue.
I bet he liked her.
Yeah, well, he was more of a friend, but
Nah.
so he stayed in the car, and I walked her to the door, and we talked for a while, and then I asked for her telephone number, and everything went from there.
Is it true that when you picked her up for the first date, you had like Q-tips in your nose or something?
Possible. I was kind of goofy, and
Okay.
I was pretending those were those foam pieces, the styrofoam. Don't ask me why I did that, but it was kind of funny.
But you had a girlfriend when you met her.
Mm-hmm.
So we should probably talk about that.
No, I would rather not.
No. Come on. Because you had a
She was a
girlfriend.
nice girl, but I wasn't in love with her.
Right. Right.
So
And then when you asked her out, Mom was like, you have a girlfriend. Like, if you want me to go out with you, you need to break up with your girlfriend.
well, she didn't have to say it like that. She just said, well, you already have a girlfriend, and then the rest you figure out yourself what you have to do. So
And then you broke up with your girlfriend.
That's correct.
Do you remember what you said to her?
not exactly. That's one of those uncomfortable moments that you'd rather not have. But we weren't going to get married or anything, and
And then she cornered Mom in a bathroom.
that's what I hear at Oak Park River Forest High School.
Because, like, she was a greaser. She was, like, a scary greaser girl, right?
She wasn't that scary, but
She was like Rizzo. She was Rizzo. He was Danny Zuko, and Mom was Sandy.
well, you see, one of my best friend, Mark, he and I would double date with the two girls. And so therefore, that's how that all progressed. And, there was no way I was like being real serious about the relationship in the long run, but it was pleasant to have friendship and to go to movies and things like that. And then when I met your mom, then everything changed,
Whoa.
which is good.
It is
You
good.
should be happy about that.
I'm very happy about your decision.
Right.
I'm very, very happy. Would you say you're happy in your life?
Happy in general, very much so. From meeting your mom, everything was very nice.
And what do you think the key to having a happy life is?
And what?
Like, what do you think the key to having a
I don't philosophize that much.
You don't?
No. So I don't think too much about, wondering things like that. It is what it is. You make the best of it, and that's it.
You make the best of it?
Yeah, and I was very happy with my choices.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in God?
Well, there's obviously has to be something that caused all of this that's pretty unique. So if in that sense, I believe that there was something very wonderful happening and why we're here, but I don't philosophize beyond that.
It's almost like we're not meant to know.
It's like what?
We're not meant to know.
No. Some people might feel they know. I mean, all we can do is study what we can observe and make conclusions from there.
Yeah. So good. So you're happy in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You married the love of your life.
Yes.
You have 3 daughters who you love, who then made grandchildren. Do you like being a grandpa?
Sure.
Aren't they so cute?
Yes.
Isn't it disgusting how cute they are?
No, it's wonderful.
It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, just happy to be here.
I'm so happy you came on here.
Yeah.
It was fun, right?
Yep.
This wasn't so bad.
No.
It was just a convo.
There you go.
Just a nice conversation between daughter and father. We never really fought much. And you never really yelled at us. You know what your thing was? Ask mom, ask your mom, ask your mom.
Kind of, but I think I also told you guys to use your own mind and think about things and make your own decisions and,
Yes.
you know, be as independent as you could.
That was huge. And I'm so grateful for that because you always taught us to question, make our own decisions, and question, honestly, authority even, or like doctors or whoever. It was just you always taught us to question. And I loved that. And like growing up in a very religious neighborhood or like a pretty Catholic neighborhood I remember we were like, why aren't we going to church? And you said to us, when you're old enough, you can study the different religions. And if you need,
Do what you want.
do what you want. Like, I'm not going to brainwash you into believing this or that. You can make your own decision. I'm so grateful for that.
Well, I'm glad it worked out because that could go more than one way, you know.
Yeah.
But so I felt it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And your mom backed me up on that one. And the rest is history.
Yeah. And
So you go to church every week now?
No.
Okay.
I go to AA though.
Well, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You dealt with your problem, and did you succeed?
I'm 11 years sober.
There you go.
Can you believe that? 11 years.
That's pretty good. I think I'm 2 months.
Wait, what? Seriously?
I still drink a little bit, but I haven't had anything for a couple months, you know. So it doesn't bother. I can, you know, take it or leave it,
Wow.
which I think is very good.
That's
and
amazing.
In some ways, I was inspired by you
Really?
and your fortitude. So.
Whoa. Hey now. You want to go to a meeting with me?
No way.
All right. Well, this was awesome, Dad. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I love you, Daddy.
I love you too.
Thanks for doing this.
Chip off the old block.